Mikrotik. Probably should share this with my Discord guys, right? Let's see how that goes. Okay. Anyone in the comment section yet? No. Okay, let's switch over to hello. I'm in focus. I think I'm in focus. Good enough. Okay, so I'm doing multicast today. I've got a quick refresher on multicast addresses that I wrote up. And then I guess we're going to start trying it. So I've got an assortment of stuff just kind of on the table here. And I can grab more stuff from around the room if I need it. But yeah, let me flip over to okay, so let's flip here. Okay, so quick overview before I get too far along of, oops, I'm on the wrong computer with my mouse. Here we go. So quick overview of multicast addresses. So today we're working at IPv6, of course. Multicast addresses are a little bit different than you might think about. I guess I should flip back to this for some quick yapping. And this one, yeah. So, multicast, everything you know about unicast routing is basically flipped upside down and around. Everything about multicast is like different, not in a bad way, but different. I guess the closest analogy I can think of is like, most of you probably aren't like aerodynamic engineers, but if you ever go supersonic, all of the airflow calculations and everything just gets flipped on its head and nothing makes sense anymore. That's what multicast feels like. So we got some weird behavior, and it makes a lot of sense if you're actually using multicast, but if you think of it from a purely unicast perspective, all the routing protocols, all the way we handle routing is like way different. Okay, so yeah, so IPv6 address. We start with FF, so everything in FF is special, and generally FF is, well, yeah, so FE80, FC00, and FF. So FF is multicast, and then we have 2 digits that identify the type of multicast, and then that /16 is our multicast region. So the first bit is flags. Now each bit has a meaning, but there's 4 well-known, essentially, values of flags. So if it's a 0, that is a well-known group address, probably assigned by IANA. This is things like multicast, DNS, all routers, all nodes, DHCP, all of those have well-known multicasts. So you can multicast to whoever you need to. If it's a 1, it's a self-assigned address, but it has no additional meaning, so that could be anything. If it's 3, then it's a source-specific multicast, which is what I'm focusing on today. And if it's 7, then it's a prefix-encoded multicast, which has meaning, I guess. So then after that we have the scope. So like FF02, FF02 would be well known, and then link local. And so most multicasts you'll see in the wild are FF02. So like FF02::1 is all nodes, FF02::2 is all routers. This is where you get like DHCP servers, OSPF uses this, MDNS, everything else that does like link local multicast pretty much universally uses FF02. After that we have realm local, which is kind of an oddity, but it's for networks which are routed in the same like topology. So the best example I can think of for realm local is 6LoWPAN and thread. So if you have a thread network, each hop is routed, but they're still the same like network kind of sorta. So they would be FF03 or FF13, I guess, depending on how you use it. Then 4 is admin local, which just means the smallest size can be manually configured. 5 is site local. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are all available to you to use however you want, I guess. So 8 is organization local. So that's everything that is owned by a single ASN or a single company or whatever. And then E is totally global. So this would be over the internet. Now obviously multicast doesn't really run over the internet, so we don't see this very often, but I guess it's technically possible. Then we write them as a group join, which would be either a star G or a source and a G, where G is the group and S is the source. So I'll get to what that means, I guess, a little bit in a second. And then so I got some examples here. So FF025 is all OSPF routers. FF12 ABCD is self-assigned but has no meaning. FF3E1234 is source specific, but again has no specific meaning. And then FF7E30 2001 DB81:1. So it's prefix encoded. The prefix is hex 30 bytes long. The prefix is 2001 DB81, and the group within that prefix is 1. So in theory, if you want to encode your ownership of the prefix, you could use this style. I have never seen this style in the wild, but multicast is kind of a rare thing to see on everyday networks, I guess. So today we are pretty much going to be using self-assigned group addresses. That puts us in a 1, 3, or a 7. I already said I don't use prefix, so that puts us in a 1 or a 3. And most of the time we're going to use 3, source specific. So I guess I'll flip back to the camera and then I can see if anyone has any questions in the chat. The meat box. I ate the whole meat box. The meat box is gone. I ate it. Am I out of focus? No, I look pretty good. Let's see if I tap the focus just a tad. Is that making it worse or better? It's making it worse. That's probably good enough. Okay, so no meat box today, but instead of the meat box, I have a number of treats. So I have a glass of water. I have a glass of Coke Zero. This is, see if you can see the glass. I'll put it behind that. This is the cactus. I have a big bar of Tony's chocolate. This guy is 180 grams. That's like almost half a pound. And I have Starburst. And we'll see if I needed the hot dogs, but I don't think I'll need the hot dogs. Okay, so any thoughts on addressing? MLD... Oh yeah, so MLD snooping, we're going to get into that first. So when many of you think of multicast, and on the link local domain, this is true, we think of what we call any source multicast. So that's where the group address is the only thing we need to know to join the group. And the problem with that is on a routing level, we don't know where those packets come from. So it causes us no end of complication. So if you've seen routing that involves a rendezvous point, the rendezvous point is a router whose job is to know where the source is for multicast. And that whole thing is hella complicated. Now on link local networks, so FF02, FF12, there's no need for any of that because all we need on link local networks is MLD. And so most things link local operate on any source multicast, where anyone can send a multicast to that group and everyone will receive it. When we do routed multicast, we specifically define what the source is that we're subscribing to, and we make trees that point up to that source. So first, I'm going to do some link local multicast. So what devices do I want to play with today? So I don't want to mess with my laptop too bad. I think what I'll do is... Who do I got I can plug in? I got a bunch of Proxmox VMs. Or local multicast. That one's not that widely used. So, I mean, I don't actually know like what companies deploy multicast. I know video distribution is popular. There's a SMTPE, I think, standard for very high quality, high bandwidth video distribution over multicast for like live TV broadcast stuff. They're running with forward error correction so they can deal with drop packets, and they have like 40% overhead. So it's like 1 gigabit per stream. Apparently high-frequency trading people love any source multicast because it has less packet processing overhead than unicast or something stupid like that. Well, they can replicate all their data across the network with better efficiency because every microsecond matters to them when you're doing that kind of stuff. Today I'm focusing on, I guess, the video distribution side. So sending video to more than one client using multicast. Thinking of who I want to be my victim. I'm going to get a dongle out so that this guy here can be messed with without having to worry about losing his network connection. Okay, so this is my open interface. Now, despite the review on this, I think showing it had some teething issues. I really do like the open interface. At least the DisplayPort one that I have. It's like a DisplayPort. They come with nice cables too. I like that about them. Okay, host side, target side. So this system here runs Kali Linux, so we can do literally whatever we want. I haven't set it up to do like Wi-Fi cracking, but we don't need that. And then I'm going to put this guy on his very own VLAN, just so that we don't have a whole bunch of background traffic on my network. So, open interface, and Winbox. What the hell are you doing, open interface? How the hell? There we go. Okay, somehow this thing thinks it's running at 1024 by 768, which is not. You want you to be running at 1920 by 1080. Yes. Yeah, that's better. I'm just gonna replug this because sometimes it acts weird. And then that, of course, means restarting the software. Shut up. Come on. Come on. Well, anyway, so over here I need to connect to you. I need to connect with my save config so I have the password. And we're going to put interfaces, nope, bridge. I got plugged into Ether1, so we're going to put you on pvid VLAN 20. And who has access to VLAN 20? SFP plus 2 and bridge. Perfect. We like to see that. What are you doing? What is wrong with you? Who's messaging me? Oh, Duolingo. Shit. Okay, well, I'll have to do that before the end of the day. There we go. Okay, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oops. Sure. Oh no. Let's reboot the computer. I don't really care what it's doing. Okay, it's coming back up. While that comes up, I'll open a new Proxmox window. I don't think I have any Proxmox windows chilling. Okay, I'll flip back here. So I'm creating a new container in Proxmox, which I called mcast. Run updates on it and install ffmpeg, and then I'll switch it over to the new VLAN. Time for some chocolate too. Since that's taken a while. Tony's from the Netherlands. I got it today at Normal. I don't know if that's a store outside of Finland, but Normal. And for those of you that have never had it, I open it up. It's sort of imprinted with Tony's logo. I don't know if you can see it, so it's not just like squares. Okay, so this is done. So I'm going to change it now to be on VLAN 20. You're going to use okay. How are we getting 2001 DB867? Oh, I must have some config still left over in Winbox on this VLAN. Let's see what I got going on here. IPv6 address. I guess we'll switch to using VLAN 69 instead, which is the one I actually designated for multicast. VLAN 69. There we go. So that's your IP address. So now over on this system, we need someone giving out IP addresses. Why don't I just do that in Winbox? It's probably the easiest. So that means I could just set you to Slack. Come on. You're not getting an address. You're on VLAN 69. Oh well. Okay, so I guess first off I'm going to send multicast packets. So I guess I should do some sort of like multicast ping. And we'll just look at Wireshark what we get. Okay, we're getting spanning tree. And we're getting IGMP, which is multicast by the way. And is this our own MAC address? Is this multicast listener us? We are 844709. Yeah, it's us. So we're sending out a multicast listener report. And we're excluding these two. So we must have... Interesting that we're excluding those, but yeah, I guess there's a bit of multicast going on. So So let's look for just multicast. IP. How do I do a range in Winbox? Okay, so we got all multicasts. So now I should be able to just ping a multicast if I come over to this guy. So what if I just ping FFO2::1? Do you see it here? No. Are we on the same network? Do I have something weird going on with this bridge port? Now we need to add VLAN 69 here. I did have something weird going on with the bridge port. So now if I IPA, I should get, yeah, there we go, so I got an address. So I ping FFO2:1, I get more than one response back. There's a neat trick, by the way. Oh, there we go. So what I'm doing is I'm saying pinging FFO2:1, so that's multicast, and then everyone's going to reply to me. So see, I got 3 responses for that sequence. And over here in Wireshark, I should be able to see all these, yeah. Why are you jittering? Oh, but I can't see the responses because I can only see request. Yeah, because that'd be filtered by my multicast. Switch back here and see what the comment section is telling me. My Ubiquiti AP does its own MLD queries. Is that normal? Yes, that's very normal. Kind of. Usually the router does the queries, but technically anyone on the network can do MLD queries. So if you want to use MLD, someone has to do querying. And generally you set that up so that one of your switches or the router does MLD querying. But I guess if no one is doing it, then promoting an AP to do it seems reasonable. I apologize for not sharing my screen. Forgot to switch. Sorry, guys. So now that I did this, I want to have a Python program to listen. And so I already wrote that, I think. So I'm just going to try... Well, I guess first I should try, can I just ping... We're going to use the Python program. So we're going to have a Python program that joins the group, and then we're going to use ping to... Actually, can I use like netcat? Send UDP multicast. I'm wondering what I can use to just generate a packet really easily. Yeah, why don't we look at man-netcat? Are they different? No, they're both the same. Okay. Sometimes netcat and NC are different depending on where you got the packages from. So -L is listen. We don't need that. We need /u, I think. UDP mode. So inc -u ffo2::69 -p 1 2 3 4. Forward host lookup failed, unknown host. Okay, so back to the man page. We'll just do man-netcat here. So I need -u. Yeah, -n. Can't parse FFO2 as an IP address. You do 6. Huh. Can't parse as an IP address. That's an interesting question. SOCAT. SOCAT probably can. Let's try SOCAT. I'm just going to use Wireshark to capture. I don't actually need to decode the packet. Man, SOCAT. Okay. SOCAT. SOCAT address. I would like to point out I don't really prepare for these. I just write the description ahead of time. Oh, someone already did this. Okay. No SoCat. Okay, so we're going to install it. Which means we've got to switch you back to, or why don't I just add a new Ethernet on LAN so that you can have access to that. So you can install SoCat. Address family for hostname not supported. Okay. Oh, I need a I need the %eth0. Ha. Get address info is failing. How does it work for v4? Oh, I wonder why it's UDP4 datagram instead of UDP6 datagram. And it needs stdio, so I gotta echo into it. Network is unreachable. Okay, so let's try. No, that worked, okay. So it just didn't like me adding a scope in. Let's see if we got a Wireshark. Please come back. Nothing. There we go. I got hello world. Okay. Here we go. Hello world. DF. Do you have a space in it? Oh, that's just how it writes it up. Okay. So it worked. So we're just going to have this guy send it forever. How do I make you do a loop? Okay. Iteration 6, iteration 7. Okay. So now we are multicasting successfully. Back to the chat to see what the chat says. The chat says, yeah, NetCat needs square brackets. Oh, NetCats. Okay. Well, square brackets got me, I guess. And have a piece of Tony's chocolate. This stuff's really good, by the way. Okay, so reading comments. Forum Strag. Yes, I look at Stack Exchange a lot. NetCat needs square brackets. Yeah. TCP multicast. You cannot do TCP multicast because TCP is stateful, so you need to be able to reply. And multicast addresses can only be destinations. They can't be a source. So your source address is always a unicast address. UDP for datagram, yes, figured that out. What is used for 128 and /64 IPv6 GUAs? So that comes from how the address got assigned. So if the address got assigned via Slack, it gets a 64 because that brings with it I don't have to join the group if I'm sending. I only have to join the group if I'm receiving. So back to the 128s and 64s. So in Linux, it uses that /64/128 to tell you what its assignment size was, not necessarily the subnet size. So if you do DHCP, you get assigned a single address, and that gives you a /128. And then separately, you get a route advertisement. So in IPv4, we got assigned both the subnet mask and the address over DHCP. And in IPv6, we get only the address over DHCP, unless we do prefix delegation. So if we're not doing prefix delegation, all we get from DHCP is an address, which is /128. So in order to get a subnet mask, we also need a router advertisement that has a prefix option with a subnet mask in it. So on Linux, the /64/128 tells you how big of an assignment you got. So that's why sometimes it shows 128. That means it came from DHCP, where it only got a specific address and did not get a subnet mask, because DHCP v6 does not give us subnet masks. Or a /64 means it came from Slack, or some other method of manual configuration that did specify a subnet mask. I bet with watch. You could do like an intercom. I mean, there's a lot of uses for multicast, audio, video stuff. I don't want to be specific to any one of them, but today we're just multicasting Hello World to start. Okay, so we're getting lots of data here in Wireshark. Just fine. So now the thing is, we're treating multicast as broadcast. So I'm sending out a multicast, and everyone on the network is getting it like a broadcast. So one of the cool things with multicast is we should be able to filter who on the network gets it. And so then I can enable that in my switch here. So this is my switch. So I should be able to go and enable IGMP Snooping on the switch. So that is this bridge. And it is just a single checkbox here. It's MLD version 2, IGMP version 3. And we'll start, well, I guess you'll query 2. Okay. How are you doing? Oh, I got logged out. Okay. Okay, are we still configured? IGMP snooping enabled, and version 3 and 2. So now if I come back here, I probably stopped receiving it, and I did, because this guy doesn't want this multicast, so he's not getting it. And I'm not sure if I have detailed like interface. So here on interfaces, I guess I can't filter on what's coming on SFP2 because there's so much more stuff there. But Ether 1 here, we're not getting any data. There's nothing going on. So if I switch back to not doing IGMP snooping, that's probably going to log me out and back in. Oh, no, it didn't. Yeah, so here now we're getting, well, if I come back here, yeah, now we're getting more. So we got iteration, yeah, so we lost all the iteration 500s pretty much. So that is enabling IGMP snooping on the switch. So I'll come back to the switch and re-enable that. So let's see what those MLD messages look like. So we'll do UDP and not or. Okay. So I have multicast listener reports coming in now, and I got a lot of them. So we're getting this new multicast listener query, which looks like this. So this is a multicast query, type 130. Flags, looks like we're not setting anything specific, and nothing that significant. So then we're getting multicast listener report from, which one's us? I don't remember which one's us. I think this one's us. Okay, so we're excluding FFO2FB, we're excluding that, whatever that is. That's a node solicited multicast. And then are we going to go ahead and rejoin that? No, those are still excludes. How about this one? like to see someone with an include. Nope, I guess I needed some of those up there. Oh yeah, 143. So I guess my node is not sending any includes, so I guess we need to send some. So over here, bring this window over to live. I asked an AI to write me this Python code, so we are going to try it. Oh, we have no Visual Studio Code. Okay. Should I install Visual Studio Code? I probably should. Now we're going to be wild. What did Python open in by default? Mouse pad. Okay. We can do that. Let's see how this goes. Oh, I hate how this happens. So I'm doing the paste, and it's adding the tabs when it pastes in, and it keeps tabbing over each time because the editor is also adding a tab by default. Jay is going to be using Multicast for a huge 40 terabit data pipeline for radio telescope. That's probably a great use case, especially if you have multiple experiments that are all wanting the data. If you can distribute it at the network level without having to run through like caching servers or something, that's great. How did you get the Mikrotik theme? Oh, yeah, Winbox has dark mode now. I've been using Winbox since like the very first beta, Winbox v4, and it is so much better than Winbox v3. I hated Winbox v3. Yes, so IGMP Snooping Internet Group Message Protocol is for IPv4. MLD Multicast Listener Discovery is the same protocol for IPv6. So IGMP v2 and MLD v1 both deal with only deal with any source multicast or ASM. MLD v2 and IGMP v3 added support for source-specific multicast. So in Mikrotik, enabling IGMP snooping also does MLD and v6. They're the same checkbox. So in some other operating systems, I'm guessing that either they don't support MLD, or they have a separate checkbox, or IGMP and MLD are treated the same way. Does OpenInterface work similar? Yeah, it works pretty well. It has quirks, and they all have some quirks. I picked the OpenInterface to use today because I knew where it was on the shelf, and because it comes with long cables. So the Cytrance Kiwi, that also works really well, comes with really short cables, and I don't have enough length in my setup for that today. Winbox says dark mode, yeah. Yep. Okay, so what's going on over here? Oh, thank you, Python editor. Why don't I just do a search again? Find an example. How do I join a UDP multicast in Python? Fuck off. Get out of here. Let's copy this. This looks much simpler. We'll come back to that one. Create document, empty file. I guess we're opening it with mousepad then. I'm just dealing with all the weird, can I make you not auto tab? Auto indent, okay. That's turned off. Let's see, so our group in this case is FFO2 69, our port is 6666. We don't need that. We do need that. Wow, who the hell did not use Python 3? Like, Python 3 has been out for like 15 years. How do you not have Python 3 examples at this point? Oh, I'm supposed to print stuff. Save. Oops. Save, okay. Inconsistent use of tabs and spaces. Invalid arguments. Socket bind multicast group, multicast port. It's one of those cases where I need to do the 00 for IPv6. Okay, host port flow info scope ID. Okay, so I need to do I think it's just mcast group port 00. What are you mad about now? Do I need a scope for you? %eth0. Invalid argument. Okay, that's not actually a colon. I think that's just an artifact of the capture. We're going to zoom in a lot. At 6, dgram socket IP proto UDP. Actually, why don't I read this example? Because this one worked. So join SSM group. So group source iface. So we get name to index. Then we are forming a oh, we actually don't even need to bind. Okay. We do need to pack this though, IP add membership. Let's see if chat has any advice. Oh, Kitos. I got €2. Thank you. Win box is on the windows. Yes, recently moved to an apartment. Wooden router block. Yes. Maybe. Depends. So routing can support multicast, but the routing rules for multicast are different than the routing rules for unicast. So nothing prevents multicast from being routed, unless it's an FFO2 or a 224 link local multicast, then it can't be routed. So like MDNS traditionally is sent with a TTL of 1, so it can't be routed anyway. But multicast in general can be routed, yeah. Yep, I guess we'll have another piece of chocolate. I'm just going to ask the chat. Okay, so he's doing socket. He is doing reuse address. He is doing bind. He is then packing it using inet piton. Then he's doing, oh, it was a different group join. Okay, well that's good to know. We'll try this code. So that is 69, and that is port 666. And just because I want to, we're going to change you to be port 666 also. Yeah, there we go. Got data. So what does Wireshark show now for us? Okay, stop. Multicast record change to exclude. So now we've brought FFO269 in. So I just look at MLD. So at the very end, I'm excluding. I wonder if this is just weird notation from Wireshark. MLDV2. I like the dark mode version. Sorry that we don't have dark mode. Let's see. Protocol overview. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Exclude. Okay. 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 I understand now. I'm going to switch to this just to tell you my aha moment here. So I thought include exclude was adding and removing group memberships, but I guess we don't remove them, they just time out. What it actually means is if the source is significant. So if you say an include, that means you would like a multicast including this specific source. If you say exclude, that means you like a multicast not including a specific source. And since we're doing MLD v2 instead of the more common MLD v1, I guess, which is source specific, we're excluding the source of 0, I guess is the way we subscribe it. So that makes sense. Reading the RFC. Check the comments again. Stop it. Is he trying IPv6 source-specific multicast through multiple L2 networks or something? Eventually. I'm not there yet. I'm an hour in, and I've just got MLD on a single L2 group. So, now that we got that to work, we can do routing. I need another router for that, though. Let me get another router set up. Okay, so for the a lot of USB ports. Okay, do yourself a Wi-Fi. So for the other router, it's going to be this. This is my Mikrotik not Hex, HAP. So I bought it to replace, or I didn't buy it, they sent it to me, to replace the Hex S, which I still have here. So the Hex is a fantastic router. This can totally do multicast routing and PIM, which we'll get to. But this one can do all of that, and it has Wi-Fi 6. So I can do Wi-Fi testing too. Although realistically, I probably could have just bought the newer version of this and been fine. But it's only 10 euros more for that. Not that I paid for it, but it's only 10 euros more for that. So anyway, with the new setup, we're going to be doing VLAN trunking from the switch in the closet, which is going to be router 1, to the router here, which is going to be router 2. So that's going to have VLANs on it, just so I can configure this router. Then we are going to have another subnet, so we're going to have 3 subnets. I should draw a picture. Let me get out draw.io. Let's draw. Please go to dark mode. Please go to dark mode. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we're going to need a server. There's our server. So this is mcast. It's a VM. Then we have, I guess, this guy. His name is Callie, and he is the mini PC. So currently we have, what is the L2 switch? Currently we have this. So he is connected to the L2 switch, and he is connected to the L2 switch. And let's make these lines look a little bit nicer. So this is what we have right now. So this is the switch in the closet, and it is doing MLD snooping and MLD querying. So that's what we got here. Now we want to move to a routed setup. So we need to replace our switches with routers. I don't like that logo. How about, I like this one. Okay, so we're going to have a router. That's our user router. And we're going to have a router. That's our server's router. And, oops. So our server is connected to our server's router on the server subnet. And then our user is connected to our user's router on our user's subnet. And so these need to go through routing. And so this is going to be connected to that guy with a point-to-point link, which I guess we'll call the backbone subnet. And then the multicast should flow, hopefully. So first, let's just get this working and see if we can get unicast to work. So server subnet, we're going to use the one we already have, which is 2AOF B240 1069, I think I used. And then backbone subnet, we're going to use 2AOF B240 1070. And then user subnet, we're going to use 2AOF B240 1071. And this is going to be also on VLAN 69. This is going to be on VLAN 70. And this is going to not be on a VLAN at all. So, makes sense? Sound good? I'll go back to comments and see if any of you guys have comments on my new routed setup. Still eager for the Wi-Fi 7. HapBE. Yes, I'm eager for that one as well. Not just because of BE, but also because it's supposed to include thread, which is something Mikrotik hasn't had before, and I really want to check out their thread support. I'm going to ask them for it when it comes out. And I'll reply to the next comment when I'm done with NAC. P2P Gaming, wherever involved has IPv6. Yes, that should be better. So currently, if IPv6 is better or worse, depends on how good your peerings are with your ISP. So if your ISP has good v6 peerings, and also, just because an IP has peering, doesn't mean that peering has v6 running over it. So in general, most peerings have a separate v4 BGP session and a v6 BGP session. They don't have to. They can do it all over a v6 session, but it seems like they're still doing a lot of separate sessions. So it's possible that some ISPs have a connection and have v6 running but don't have that peering established. Hopefully they do. In general, in most of the countries where v6 is very popular, in most of Western Europe and parts of the US, the v6 transit tends to be better to CDNs, which measure it. So in theory, if that holds true for the whole network and not just for the CDNs, then we should have marginally better latency across v6 than v4. And also we're not going through NAT. So if NAT is introducing any latency, that would not happen. Although realistically, we still have the firewall, which is probably about the same. Now where it gets much better is if your provider is doing 464x or MAP. So especially if you're on a cellular connection, then you're going to have a much better latency over v6 because you're not getting routed out of the side to the PLAT. So in theory, if everyone involved had v6, we wouldn't need to do like we never change the address and port numbers in v6, even through a firewall. So we don't have to do like NAT. We still have to do firewall hole punching, but we're not trying to. So we still need a server somewhere to identify everyone's v6 addresses. But if you just told your friend their v6 address and they told you theirs, you could probably hole punch just fine with that without a server involved. So in theory, it could be easier. But also there's no NAT. So if you have two people playing the same game by the same house, they're not restricted in sharing the same public port. We don't have any of the issues of port numbers changing, which can cause some games to freak out. Stuff like that. Sources say mid-May. I hope mid-May. There's a chance I'm going to go to Riga in May, so I'll ask him when I go. I wanted to go to Riga in the fall, and I didn't get a chance. And I thought about going in the winter. I didn't have enough money. So, we will see. But I really want to visit Riga. And when I'm there, I want to visit Mikrotik. So, okay. So, back to this guy here. So now we got to set this network up so that we can test all this stuff. So, I guess I should start wiring, right? I guess I'll use this camera so you guys can watch me work. So I need an Ethernet cable. I guess this counts as an Ethernet cable. I need you to connect to the switch in the closet. I probably should factory reset this one again because I was using it for MPLS. But we'll YOLO plug into port 2. And you'll be on port 4. And I'll plug you in when I'm happy. No, I'll plug you in right now, whatever. We'll figure this out. Okay. So you, interfaces. So we're going to make a new VLAN. VLAN transit. And your VLAN ID 70 on the bridge. And then in ports, you're going to have a pvid of 1 because transit's going to be tagged. And you are going to, I guess you're in, yeah, okay. So then that's on the bridge, that's on SFP plus 2. We're going to add a new VLAN ID that is 70, tagged on Ether 1, and this is transit. And then I need an IP address on that. So IP address 2AOF B240 1000:70. And you're on VLAN transit. And your EUI 64, and I don't need to advertise you. And then new winbox. Where's the new winbox button? Up here. I got the little paper here that has what your password is on it. And last time I tried this, I was using your Wi-Fi password instead, and it didn't work. Okay, shut up. No password changes for you. 2, 3, 4, 5, SFP, Wi-Fi. Okay, we'll add ETH1 to the bridge too, why not? Okay, so Ether 4 is my connection to the mini PC. So we're going to set him to only untagged. Who's messaging me? It's Duolingo again. And you are on VLAN. You're not going to be at 1. I guess we'll put you on 71. So then on interfaces here, I have bridge, which I guess is going to be directly on the bridge. We'll do VLAN transit, and you're going to be on bridge, VLAN ID 70. And then we'll add VLAN users, who's going to be VLAN 71 on bridge. Okay. IP address. We need 2AOF B240 1000:70/64 on VLAN transit EUI 64 no advertise. 2AF B240 1000:71 /64. On VLAN users EOI64 do advertise. Okay. So let's see what Lemony PC is up to. So unplug and replug this. Oh, I need to add VLAN filtering on the bridge too. Bridge, VLAN filtering, yes. Shit. Oh, okay, we're back. So bridge VLAN filtering, bridge VLANs, those are assigned by PVID. I need transit VLANs. VLAN 7D tagged on Ether 2. Transit VLANs. Okay. So you're tagged in Ether 2, you're untagged in Ether 4. You're both on the bridge. Okay, so let's see if we got addresses. So close Wireshark, we'll come back to it later. We'll close you, we'll come back to you later. And open terminal here. Oh. What the hell are you doing? Something very weird is going on. I'll just unplug and replug this. What the fuck are you doing? Plug and replug this. Every time I hit P, the display comes up. It's like I got the wrong key map or something. This is very weird. We're going to close and reopen the app. Okay. Okay, so I should pull a :71. Okay, I did, okay. So now the problem is I have two routers that need to route to each other. So I need a routing table. And I could do statics between them, but I'm going to do OSPF. So that means that on VLAN 70 we're going to be running area 0, OSPF. Okay, routing. OSPF. Well, we already had a lot of OSPF, so we'll just get rid of that. And get rid of that. And get rid of that. So new instance, it's going to be version 3. Our router ID is going to be 240.0.0.70. Areas, area 0, interface templates, cost, I don't know, 10. On interface, transit, and then I need the passive iFaces, so in this case VLAN IPTV is going to be my passive. So that should get you happy. Now over here, I need to do the same, routing OSPF. Do I have anything configured? No. Okay, good. I reset you. You're going to be version 3, router ID 240.0.0.71. Areas, area 0. Interface templates, you're going to be active on VLAN transit, cost of 10. And we're going to be passive on VLAN users. Okay, so now your neighborship should come up. So you're waiting, you're passive. That's a VLAN transit. And then you are the DR on VLAN transit. Why is your neighborship not coming up? Bridge, VLANs, VLAN on bridge, 7071, transit VLANs, PVID. Okay, you're happy. You're on Ether 2. Okay, you're on Ether 2. What did I miss? Let's see what chat has to say. I'm sure you guys are yelling at me already. Yeah, you're probably right. I probably have some MPLS settings that are still messing with it. Probably should just reset these routers more often, but I didn't. PLS. Pretty sure the bridge VLAN filtering is correct. So on bridge I have 6970, and on Ether 1 I have 70. Ether 1 comes across into Ether 2 over here. So that's over here. Bridge, VLANs, So that's 70 tagged. And then I got 70 and 71 on the bridge. Actually, are you Ether 1? Yeah, admit all, okay. Huh. Bridge NAT. No bridge NAT for me. Pretty sure I have no firewall. I have a NAT rule, I guess. Yeah, I have no firewall going on whatsoever. How about you? Oh, you have the default firewall. Okay, we heard all that. So you have a neighbor, FT8E. That's not you, right? No, okay. You're at init. Okay, you're FT8E. Okay. Ironically, what if I turn off IGMP Snooping on the bridge? Okay, now you're up. Okay. Are you still up? Yes. X start. You were so happy before. So we have not found our routes from each other yet. So DR is 71, that's me. I am 70. Oh, do I both have the same, no, you're 71. You're 70. You're happy? Okay, 69, 70, 71, those all made it. And you, routes, okay, you guys made it. Okay, we're good. No, we're not good. What are you guys doing? Disappeared. So I bet if I disable you here, you'll come back. I think it's an IGMP snooping issue, as funny as that is, given that that's what this whole live stream is about. No comments in the chat? Nothing for me? they're back. Okay, so you guys are happy again. Given that it's a problem on switch 4 and not switch 5, I'm guessing it's firmware. So I'm on 722 here, and you're on 721. So let's try updating your firmware. Check for updates. Download and install. 0 megabytes free. Let's take all my space. Oh, yeah, that would do it. Okay, it's going to reboot now. While it reboots, I will come back and read the comment section. Here's another piece of Tony's chocolate. Okay. I wonder if the release notes for 722 say they fixed something with MLDV3 or something. Still rebooting. Also, I'm amazed how quickly Mikrotik stuff boots up. Boot up faster. How long have you been doing tech? I started university in 2012. My degree is in computer engineering, so that's not exactly networking, but it's certainly tech. But I had my first Linux system in 2006, and it was Ubuntu 6.06. And I've used Ubuntu for a long time, all the way through high school. Eventually I switched to Debian as my preferred, just because it is basic and it works, I guess. No frills, but still not like Alpine is so stripped down with OpenRC and stuff that it's kind of a pain to work in sometimes. As to how long I've been doing networking, I got my start in networking for what you might call like shadow IT. So I worked professionally in embedded software, and a lot of embedded software is software testing. So we would build test setups that would have, like I worked on an engine controller for a jet engine. And the ECU had 300 connector pins. We only use like half of them. And then the whole thing is fully redundant, so that's only 150 per redundant half. And about 50 of them just jumper back and forth between the two channels anyway, so we don't care about those. So overall, we had maybe a dozen unique types of signals. And then like some of them were relays, which you might have a dozen of per redundant channel, stuff like that. Most of the sensors were really quite basic. But anyway, we build racks of hardware to simulate all of these stuff. And then part of that rack is hundreds of relays to short out any pin, to see what happens, to open a pin so that it's disconnected, stuff like that. And so we would just have these absolutely monumental sets of hardware to test the code in a little box. And so I would develop that. That was what I was pretty good at. I also did a lot of low-level stuff in assembly and that kind of stuff, but I really liked the test method stuff, software testing. And so a lot of this old test stuff was based on like ISA or PCI cards, not PCI Express, but PCI, the old one. And so over the years, a lot of my equipment that I was working with moved from being ISA cards, with me trying to find the oldest computer parts in history that still ran Windows XP, to keep these things running. And a lot of the new equipment moved to Ethernet, so I started doing networking as part of that. And so I would have racks of network equipment all networked to each other, and we would be opening TCP sessions all over the place. A lot of this equipment was updated from like serial or GPIB or stuff, so we would have like real low-level ASCII protocols just straight over TCP, and I would be writing Python code to talk to a multimeter over TCP or something stupid like that. Or migrating my code that used to talk to it over a physical COM port to talk to it over TCP instead. And that was how I got into networking. So, and I did that for a long time. Not a long time, but a couple of years. Yeah, it makes sense that IGMP Snooping can mess with multicast. I could add a static neighborship. I probably should do that. Why did I move to Finland? My fiance is Finnish, so we live here in Finland. It's also pretty nice here, too. I liked ISA. ISA was good. ISA was very simple. So the ISA bus is literally the wires of the Intel 8086 brought out onto a connector. Or sorry, the 8088 originally was the 8-bit version of the 16-bit chip. It's still a 16-bit chip, but it has an 8-bit bus, so it has to do 2 bus cycles to do a full 16-bit word. And so on the 8088 and the 8086, there is 2 address spaces. IO space, which is 9 bits, and memory space, which I think is 20 bits. Later got extended to 24, I think. And so an IO transaction asserts the IO line, which means that the first 9 address bits are the address we're accessing, and the 8-bit bus becomes the bus. So those wires from the chip just went whoop, and they went to the connector slot, and that was it. And then for 16-bit ISA, it was just the same, but with an extra 8 data bits. So ISA is like a very basic computer bus. You're just doing memory transactions straight on the bus. There's no sort of differential line drivers. Signal integrity is just off terrible. But it works, and it's very simple. So you could, like I had a relay card, for example. So we had 2 of these cards, and each one could do 184 channels of 5-volt TTL logic. And then we would have ribbon cables coming out of these cards that would get wired to banks of relays. So I would have like a 16-channel relay board with a 16-channel card, and I would have dozens of these stacked, all running back to have 300 or 192 per card, and then we had 2 cards for 384. And it was just like a bunch of latches. Like they were just taking the IO address and the ISA bus and just decoding it into a latch chip, and that was it. Like you don't need any logic or stuff. So let's see if my software update's done. It is. We'll flip back here. So now that it's done, has my neighborship come up? Routing, OSPF, neighbors, you're there. So if I turn on IGMP Snooping, do you go away? Okay, we lost our connection. That happens. Yes, okay, static neighbors. Your address is IP address. What is your address on VLAN Transit? 3007. It's address interface. Okay. And then same thing in the other direction. What is your address on VLAN Transit? please come up. Should I update you to system packages? Check for updates. You don't have connectivity. I could give you connectivity. Okay, you're not working. What is wrong with you? Why are my static neighbors not coming up? Does it need to be a link local, maybe? Let's try this address. 3007. Why is your neighborship still not coming up? Actually, I don't need IGMP snooping on this router, so if I turn this off, then I'll be okay. Let's go back to my diagram. I need IGMP snooping here. But I don't need it up here, actually, because this is not part of MLD. So now you're starting to come up. And now you're still not starting to come up. What is wrong with you? I'm going to factory reset this one. System reset no default. Guess I'll have more chocolate. I reset the configuration after the MPLS lab, but I reset it back to the default, which has a bunch of config for this to be a router. Like a home router with like Wi-Fi and stuff. Oh, because I wanted to test Wi-Fi. I was testing Wi-Fi for another video that comes out Monday or Tuesday. What does your fiance do for work? She is a socionome. She's kind of like a social worker. She actually just got a new job. It starts Monday. So she's been working in like foster care units with the kids, and it's nice, but it's really rough because the kids are always really violent. Okay, so it's on RC1. I don't think I need to upgrade the firmware. I'm already like way past the... I'm in the release candidate, so I'm going from RC1 to RC4, but I'm on the latest, this one. I think I'm fine. So, you have been totally reset. So bridge, we have no bridge. We need a bridge. I guess we'll start without IGMP Snooping. We'll enable VLANs on the bridge. I'm going to add bridge ports to everything except VLAN 2. So you're going to be Ether 1 on bridge. Go back. Ether 3. As soon as I do Ether 2, it's going to kick me off. Ether 4. This is the one with the VLAN 71. And no tagging. And then I need VLAN Ether 5. And SFP. And then I'm going to make a new VLAN interface called VLAN LAN. VLAN LAN. VLAN 1 off of bridge. And then VLAN transit. VLAN 70 off of bridge. And then VLAN users. VLAN 71 off the bridge. Okay, now addresses. Off of transit and off of users and advertise. So now as soon as I add bridge ports to Ether 2, it's going to kick me off. It should kick me off. I expected it to kick me off. Sorry to add transit VLAN. Maybe not. So VLAN ID 70 and tagged on Ether 2. Okay, there we go. So I should be back up. So we need to do routing, OSPF, instance version 3. Areas, defaults, interface templates, passive iFaces, and that's going to be VLAN users passive, and VLAN transit. It's going to be cost 10, type broadcast, neighbors. There, boom, we're up. Okay. I could probably delete the static neighbor here. So now we have no IGMP enabled. If I enable IGMP here, does our neighbors went away? But I don't need it here. So I'll re-enable it. Our neighbors better come back. Interfaces, waiting. Okay, so static neighbor must have been helping there then. So you, what's your address on VLAN transit? Actually, I don't need that on VLAN transit. I can just use FE80s. Okay, now you're up. So I can go here to addresses and I can delete that on VLAN transit. We actually don't need it. So, has your routing table come across yet? 6971. Perfect. Now I got to enable IGMP Snooping. Version 3, version 2. You'll be the querier. Go ahead. Okay, you're still there. You're not there. Now you're there. Okay, you're back. Perfect. Okay, so I had to get unicast routing working because multicast depends on unicast routing. So in PIM, which is protocol independent multicast, the protocol independent refers to the fact that it's not tied to ISIS or BGP or OSPF. It works with any of those because it reads out of the unicast rib or unicast fib. A little bit of chocolate on my keyboard. So fundamentally, in multicast, all of our routing is backwards. So in unicast, we're pointing toward the source. How do we get to the source? And in multicast, most of our routing is based on, well, two different things. But the routes are pointing away from the source. So we're looking backward toward the source, and we're saying if a packet came in on an interface that doesn't point toward the source, then it's going to create a multicast loop, so we drop the packet. So all of our multicast routes are based on the source of where the packet's coming in on, and then what any of the other interfaces are possible egress destinations. So our multicast routes are focused on what direction the packet came from as to allow that to come in, and then where we replicate it to. So now that I have this open, I should be able to do a unicast ping. So come back here and do a unicast ping. So if I'm come on. Come on. Let's just restart it. So here's my address here. So I should be able to ping from this system. And I can. Perfect. So let's bring you over here. You did not like that. And we'll just leave it here. So you're doing FF02. And we're going to change you to be FF35. Okay, that's probably working. Next thing I'm going to do is, I guess we'll torch, and we'll torch on this one. Torch, and we're going to torch on interface VLAN IPTV, and let's go. Okay, so we have packets flowing FF35. Good. Good. So now we need to get routing. So, I'll delete that file, and we'll make a new file. Join ssm.py, and we will use this. Oh, you lost your location. Shit. Somehow my network share dropped off. Probably because the switch rebooted and I had the file server attached to that switch. Okay, we'll bring that back. 1 second. Okay. That's back. So over here, we're going to join ssm.py. We'll grab some more water. We'll be right back. Okay, why are you not open? You're supposed to be open with mousepad. Okay, auto indent. We're going to paste it. Okay, so this is what we got. So we want to look at ff35 ::69 source address. I'll have to figure that one out. Source address is U. Okay. Joining on ETH0. Why did you close right away? Oh, because I didn't save the file. There was nothing in the file, okay? Try that again. Okay, so that says it's joined the group. Wireshark. No. Fuck off. ETH0. Okay, multicast listener reports. Allow new sources, and we're looking at ff3569 and source address. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so we are now sending the listener reports. Okay, so we got allow new sources, and then in response to the query, we got include. Can I get you just... out of here? Okay, so include FF3569, number of sources 1, and that is the source. Okay, so now the client's doing what it should and the server's doing what it should. Now we got to configure PIM. So this is the routing protocol for multicast. What was your greatest cultural shock when you moved to Finland? We had a couple. Trying to think of a good one. One thing I keep telling my fiance over and over is all the time when we have like buffet food or basic food or stuff, she calls it school lunch food. And I'm like, to me, school lunch food is like bad food. But here, school lunch food means like basic food, but it's still like good and healthy. It's just not like fancy. That was interesting to me. What else? Big culture shock. Drive a bit slower. Someone told me the drivers in this city are the worst. And I was like, these are the nicest drivers I've ever met. I haven't been honked at yet today. Things like that. Maybe another culture shock was when I was like trying to figure out taxes. She was like, why don't you just call the tax office and ask them for help? And I'm like, the tax office helps people? Like, what? Okay. Oh, bless you. Yeah, I sneezed. Okay. So back to setting up PIM. So I should probably should I actually open the docs or should I just go for it? 2 hours in, I might as well just go for it. We'll just go for it. We'll wing it. Okay, so first off, I need to set routing PIM, PIM-SSM. New instance. AFI is going to be v6. It's probably good enough. So I need interface template because this is RouterOS source addresses. Do I need it? I guess I don't. Okay. So you're there. Neighbor. Now how about routing PIM-SSM? Instances, AFI, v6. I don't know if skipping some of these configs will come back to bite me, but we'll figure that out. VLAN transit. Okay, so you found your neighbor. Great. No RPs. So any of these things that I actually need to configure. I don't know. But you have found yourself at least. So this is the HAP. Do I need to add you on my... I'm going to look up the docs. The docs. Okay. PIM, IGMP. Okay, so they're adding addresses. Makes sense. Adding PIM-SSM instance. Template. Add interface. Okay. On the sender. Routing GMP. Okay, so I think that is on the U here, routing GMP. You are on interface VLAN users. One or more groups must be specified. Okay, FF35, 69. Can I just say like FF35 :/120? Must be a specific address. Okay. Routing GMP add groups interfaces. UBG, UIB. Okay, so I need to look at the UIB. Yeah, that looks right. Oh, you went to sleep. Come back. Oh, come on. Stop being stupid. A lot of spanning tree going on. You're currently sending. I think you're sending. Okay, so we left. Okay, this one is leaving. And then this one is rejoining. How about UDP? So we're still not getting forwarded. So let's see in here if we see it in Torch. So Torch, IPTV VLAN start. Yep, you're coming in fine. So now how about on Torch on transit VLAN if we see it leaving? No, you're not leaving. Why aren't you leaving? Come back, okay. So you're there. So the desire to receive the packet is making it, I think. Well, it was. You lost your neighborship. That's probably part of the problem. because you are doing IGMP snooping, you actually don't have to do IGMP snooping for this to work. Oh, I can't give it a subnet range. Interesting. Why are you not coming up here? So here in Torch, on VLAN users, what do I see? I'm going to ask the chat. Static RP or BSR? I shouldn't need that for source specific with an RP. Subnet and mask better than the books. I don't know about explaining subnet and mask. I have information on that in a video. I'll post the link in the chat actually. But I have a video on subnetting which you can watch if you like it, I guess. Videos. Oh, my computer's being really slow because I got so much crap open. It's from like 2 years ago. Come on. Web KVM, strange choices, bridging. All about VPNs. Okay, I have a video from 2 years ago. I guess I'll copy that one into the chat. So that's my video on subnets and masks. But in general, in IPv6, it's much easier. We're not working on RP-SR. So in theory, an RP is not needed for source specific. But maybe the Mikrotik docs are not clear. I can't create a BSR anyway. I can just create a static RP. So I guess we'll create one here. Is it asking? Okay. Group should be multicast address. Oh. And I want your address to be it, which is not that address. This one. Why did you not create? So I have a set of docs. I know you're going to tell me that I had the camera in the wrong place, which is true. I wrote a set of configs for doing this in FRR. So I could do this in FRR as well. I don't know if you guys prefer FRR. In FRR, for SSM, we do not configure BSRs or RPs. I'm reading through this. So I said PIM, 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 PIM. And last hop router. So last hop router I said ETH0 has PIM, ETH1 has MLD version 2. Yeah, so we shouldn't need a rendezvous point because we're using source-specific multicast, which should be using the source as the origin, not the rendezvous point. What does the chat think about FRR? Static RPM, both routers should point to one of the routers. Okay, so I pointed to itself. It's not a link local address, it's a global address, it's just not a loopback. I used the 2600, or 2A00. It also didn't create, so I'm wondering if Winbox is being weird. I'll reconnect Winbox and see. Okay, I'm going to flip back to you, so we need to connect to you. Go ahead. Okay, so you didn't create. So if I create a static RP for you, I'm going to take your address. So this is a global address, it's not a link local. See, so it's not creating, it's, oh there we go, okay. And then, oh, stop falling asleep. Ah, come on. The problem is, when the computer goes to sleep, the open interface thinks it's like 10 by 10, it shrinks the view. Why don't I just have you not screensaver? What are you set to do right now? No. No screensaver. Okay. So then you are switch 4, and I now need switch. I guess you're just the hap. So I create this RP, FF35, colon 69. You're still not coming up in the forwarding list. Why did your interface go down? Huh. So you lost your neighborship and you lost your interface. How did you lose your interface templates? Supposed to be on VLAN transit. Something is weird with this. Why don't we try to connect you, but I'm going to connect you over your IP address instead. Why did you disappear? It's not showing up in Winbox either. There it is. So we'll try that connection. How did you just go away? I'm going to reboot you because you're having weird problems. Reboot. Oh yeah, you're lost because you're connected over the switch. Let's see what chat says. Yeah, I sneezed. Okay, my conclusion is multicast or Mikrotik is not supporting source-specific mode, only with rendezvous points. That's what I'm thinking is going on. I lost my connection to the server again, so I might start moving this over to FRR. Should I do that? Let's see. It went away in the hap too. Oh no, because I lost connection to the hap. That makes sense. Okay, are you back? Okay, you're back. Routing, PIM. So I should be able to export and see what's going on here. And the fact that I can't is weird. Okay, we're going to do this with FRR instead. So that means we're going to go over, I guess you're fine sending, continuing to send. What time is it? Okay. Create CT, router 1. I'm going to initially create these on LAN just so I can do updates and install packages. And then, so that's you, start, router 2, now I have some snap. Okay, you're installing crap. You're installing crap. Okay, back to fixing my network share that dropped again because I rebooted the switch, which is also a router. Oh, you came back on your own. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to reconfigure these guys. Well, I guess I can take the HAP out of the loop entirely. I don't need it anymore. And then I can just set up the CRS-305 back as a regular switch. Let's do that. Oh, I need my keyboard. Come back. So you're getting unplugged. You're getting unplugged. And you're going over here. And then on switch 4. I don't know why this is getting so hung up here. It's very weird. But anyway, so ports, Ether 1, are going to be on PVID 71. Oops. Then interfaces, transit is going to go away. And then addresses, you already went away. Perfect. So IPTV, are you doing advertise? Sure, you're doing advertise. That's fine. Actually, I'm going to delete that as well. So you'll purely be doing layer 2. And then this is still here. This is still here. Okay. I need both of these guys to do router advertisements. Okay. So router 1 is going to be my server-side router. Router 2 is going to be my client-side router. If we look back here, this guy is router 1, and this guy is router 2. So that means this guy needs a static IP, this guy needs a static IP, this is going to do OSPF. This guy is going to need to advertise, so he needs to run router advertisements. Yeah. Okay, and then this is going to be VLAN 70. So let's go set up those VLANs now that we got stuff installed. So router 1, E0 is going to be transit, so that's going to be VLAN 70. And static. I guess we'll just set static with no IPs, that's fine. And same on router 2, you're going to be static on VLAN 70. And then you're going to get a new ETH1. It's going to be on VLAN 69. And I'll assign that within the container. And you're going to have ETH1, where you're going to be on 71. And again, I'll assign that within the container. Okay. Now we need to set up IPs. I was going to do static, wasn't I? So router 1, you are going to get a static 2AOF B240 100069.1, which means that you need a static as well. Actually, I should probably just do you correctly. So your mcast, and a static 2AOF B240 1002. And your gateway is 2AOF B240 100069.1. I need to reboot you. Shut down. Restart. Okay. And for our router advertisements. Do you have an example? No suppress RA. That is a really stupid way to name it, but okay. So now we got router 1. And router 1, we need OSPF 6. We need PIM-SSM. And that's it. Okay, let's see what my example was. So the first top router, a little bit backwards, but we'll figure that out. So ETH1 is towards source, ETH0 is towards transit. And then I had some example prefix lists to do filtering. Now we need the OSPF part. Which I have on my own blog. put U as OSPF passive so that we get redistributed. What was the syntax for passive? Okay. Let's see how that works. We got errors. I'm sure chat's going to comment. Yeah, so OSPF is not strictly needed, but in order for multicast to work, the unicast routing table has to be correct already. So we need something to distribute our unicast routes so we can find a route back to the source, which has a unicast address. So what do we got going on here? Are you happy? ATYSH. Show. PIM. There's no PIM. I'll get the other router set up first. So you need to run OSPF 6 and PIM-6 and I don't know what else. Okay. We'll copy some of this. Let's see, what was my example for the last top router? So again, had router PIM-6 SSM prefix list. This one is much more complex though. I'll get rid of this one. Emily version 2. Let's see if my neighborship comes up now. Okay. Might have to reboot because I changed IP settings on the container, and Proxmox only applies those when you start to the container. Reboot. Restart the container. You also, so go here and we'll reboot. And you also And you also. Okay. Why are you doing that? But whatever. You're gone also. I think my switch is still sending out advertisements. Oh, why did you go to sleep? No, you're not. Okay. Okay. So you're there. Why are you exchanging routes? Do I need to redistribute connected? I don't remember if that was important or not. I guess we'll try that. Now I need the console for router 2. No routes whatsoever. Okay. Oh, we were also going to advertise, yeah, no ND suppress RA. 2 AOF B240 1000. Okay, which interface is which? Okay, so 71 is my downstream. And who is advertising? You're gonna mess my stuff up. Okay, so that's you. You are then... Okay. over here. I think I have to link down and back up. So now I'm wondering if router 2 is going to be doing arrays properly. Looks like the answer is no. Okay, so we have a routing table. That's good. Why are you not a part of this routing table? Why'd your routes go away? Is that FRR being stupid? Okay, I'm going to check what chat's up to. I'll do some more searching. Okay, so you're good. So why are you not getting arrays? So now the problem is that FRR is not sending arrays. Or they're not making it. Maybe it's a problem with my box config. VLAN already added. Okay, so that was the problem there. There we go. Okay, so we have arrays now. Okay, so I can get to my own router. But I can't get across the OSPF network. So why not? On VLAN 70. Why are you being stupid? What does chat say? Does Bird support multicast? I don't believe Bird supports PIM, so no. So I got the arrays dealt with now. I could restart the two routers. I'm not sure why their OSPF adjacencies, though, are being weird. So what is... So I'll close you. And I'll close you. And then we will shut down. And we will shut down. And restart, and restart. Okay, so who the hell is sending these? Maybe I have to reboot the switch again because the switch is still sending RAs that it shouldn't be sending. Actually, I can kick the switch off as VLAN. I'll just change the VLAN. Since it is 69, it will be 68. And same with you, you'll be on 68. I'm going to reboot you as well. Again. So I'm not sure why the Mikrotik is still sending RAs. It should not be doing that. Are you up already? Okay, so routing table came up. So now going here, I should be able to route there. Why can I not? So 71, I can get there, but 69, I cannot. Oh, because I need to enable routing. And same for you, we need IPv6 forwarding. Okay, now you should work, and you do, okay. So finally, we have OSPF adjacency up in here. So now, if I tell you to start sending packets. Okay, so you're going to start sending packets to FF3569. So now router you should start receiving packets from Gold 2. Oh, colon 2. Okay. Where's Shark? So you have done the request to EFP240 1069.2. So router 1, router 2, let's look at first. PIM. Actually, can I see IGMP here? NLD. Okay, so we have the MLD join coming in MLD, so that's good. And we state no info. Okay, so you have made an attempt. Okay, you've been joined. Okay. Shit, I can't T-speed up. I can T-speed up. Almost out of chocolate. When I run out of chocolate, I'm done for the night. Okay, so the hello's there. PIM is PIM options. So if I go here and I end my group membership, so it should do a leave, and then I should be able to come here. Okay, so it'll expire in 2 minutes. Okay, so you already cleared it out because you had nothing else holding on to it. So you do not, are you routing? You are not routing, and routing. So what if we turn the listener back on? So now you should be M routing, and you should also be M routing. Why are you not M routing? So you've done the join here. But you don't show up in the M route table. Okay, so we are going to shut up. So we're going to try to capture, I think you're 7, we'll just do I1. So this should be the incoming interface. Why are there no packets? Something is messed up here. mcast, you're on. Ah, okay. So you are up. Problem is your packets are not getting through here. So why are your packets not getting through here? ICMP test unreachable. Why don't we reboot you? Oh, you work, okay. So now you're going to send. Is it all going to magically work out? Not yet. Okay, so you are 719. Your V 719I0. So let's try capturing on the interface in Proxmox that's coming out of the multicast center. Okay, so you're sending. Good. So now is that getting bridged into capture V723 I1? Okay, so it seems like the Linux bridge is not passing the traffic along, which is very weird to me. Why would it be filtering it? So let's see if the Linux bridge has... Maybe chat has an idea. Okay, they suggested the firewall checkmark in Proxmox, which is a good idea. So you have firewall no, you have firewall yes. No, and no. I'm not sure if that actually recreates right now or not. Okay, it looks like it did recreate. So let's see if that changes anything in here. So ping still works. Ping still gets through it, just not doing multicast. Okay. Let's see in Proxmox. Okay, sys class net bridge name. Bridge multicast snooping. Okay, no more multicast snooping for you, which should mean that, there we go, okay. So, Proxmox bridge was multicast snooping. I could have enabled a query, I guess, but I didn't, I just disabled multicast snooping. Okay, so you're making it through here. So now let's change your settings. And, well, actually, just, am I getting output now? Did that fix all of my problems? No. Did not. Okay. So, Wireshark. So let's see if it's making it to... So now it's making it into router 1. And let's try I0, so that's out of router 1. PIM join prune. That is a PIM join prune, group 0. Okay, so we have a source specific on this group F3569. And that is our source address. So that's correct. The PIM is happy. I have a lot of windows open. Under you, your router 1. IP6M route. Okay, so it says 2AOF, BT41069.2, FF3569, IIFE0, OIFs. Okay, so bridge M route is happy. Why are packets not coming out? Are you forwarding? Is there a separate multicast forwarding? MC forwarding, okay. MC forwarding. What? ProxysNet. How do I have permission? I'm root. The fuck? Oh no, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, so all these things are running as LXC containers in Proxmox, because that's what I like to do. And if I can't enable MC forwarding, it seems like it's a kernel issue. So I guess we'll look up, well, I guess I'll ask chat what you guys think. Disable snooping on other Proxmox bridges. I only have one bridge, and I just use different VLAN IDs on that same bridge for everything. So, do I need to load a kernel module? Okay, reading the internet. Why? Oh, fuck off. MC forwarding. Config mroute. Okay, so config mroute but must not be enabled. Let's see. Where is conf.gz? That was proc. Conf.gz. Proc config.gz. You're not there. You're in boot though. Yeah, okay, so I am running 6.17.13.1. config IPM route, IP6M route is Y. Okay. So why is MC forwarding 0? Okay, so here's all the IP configs. Multicast, multiple tables, route, mroute. Okay, do I have to set it per interface? Let's see if that works. MC forwarding. Okay, MC forwarding is not writable. MC forwarding is, again, not writable. Okay. Okay, so IPv4 doesn't have it either. Okay, back to chat. IP multicast routing. Okay. Oh, Zebra multicast. Okay. Multicast enable. Okay, so you multicast enable on the interface. This is the stupidest thing ever. Multicast. Okay, so now we have a whole bunch of IGMP traffic. Has the kernel gotten happy? Okay, that has fixed it. IPM route should be sending out ETH0. Okay, did my sender stop sending? Start over again. Okay, are you sending? Why are you? Oh, you're not sending because I stopped you. Okay, you have the right source. That's good. You're open twice. So you need mroute as well. Okay, I'll probably be done in a few minutes. Just very frustrated by this. I guess that means I'll have to do a multicast part 2 someday. Okay, so we're getting packets in to the mrouter. FF3569. And mroute says I interface ETH1, O interface ETH. Is it RP filter maybe that's mad at me? Where is RP filter? I think RP filter is actually an IPv4 setting. Yep, RP filter. RP filter 2. Turn that off. Let's try switching back to the transit interface. So the signaling protocol is definitely working. It's just the actual packet forwarding that's, well, not working. Still no UDP coming through. How about on ETH1 we turn off the RP filter? This might have to be the end of the day. Okay, back to chat. Other bridges that Proxmox creates for each VM. Yeah, so by disabling the firewall, I got rid of that. So they're just straight up direct. IP multicast routing, no. Enable multicast and FRR. It's weird that it doesn't enable multicast when you enable PIM and IGMP. And also doesn't mention it in the docs that I have to enable multicast separately. But I just hate FRR docs in general. So anyway, I have MC forwarding enabled. I'm just not getting packets through. I guess I will again have to finish this later. So I have a part 2 for MPLS. And I guess I'll have to have a part 2 for multicast too. Let's see what I was thinking on my own thoughts here. Okay. Looks like I was thinking of doing a Gen 2 MPLS stream probably in 2 weeks. So that would be SR MPLS, and I would, instead of using Mikrotik, I would use FRR, as much as I hate FRR. So maybe I'll set up some router VMs or something. In theory, I can do that all on Proxmox. I can do it here without real hardware. So maybe I'll set up the lab machines ahead of time and get the software installed. Or maybe I'll just not wing it. But yeah, so I'm thinking of doing live streams every 2 weeks. So the next one would probably be MPLS V2. And then a month from now would probably be Multicast V2, where I would finish all the stuff I thought I was going to get done today. If you have any ideas of things you want to see me lab out, I would love to have comments. You can comment on this video or on my Discord. I'll be there for that. Unless you guys have anything else to say, I got a number 1 fan. I got 3 number 3 fans here hanging out. So yeah, thanks to everyone for coming today. I am super tired, so I'll see you guys later.